Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to The Longing. We're on day 135. We are getting through it. 135 days in. We're, we still got a long way to go. It's Wednesday today. Wednesday the 7th of April. We're a week into April. How's everyone's April been? My April has been probably the most eventful month that I've had in a year. I mostly because I left the house, and I've not been doing that very often recently because of certain situations. But what are you gonna do? Oh god, did I break it? No, we're good. I don't even know if that will have been picked up. The screen kind of froze for a second, and I lost the random place that we were gonna go to. But it's okay. We can go to a different random place. What have I done today? I made a pizza. I made 2 pizzas. I made 2 pan pizzas. And pan pizzas, I know I said this a few weeks ago when I made pan pizzas last, but they're so easy and they're so delicious. If you don't have a pizza... If you don't have a pizza stone, or a pizza steel, if you don't have those things... just get a non-stick pan, make the pizza in there, cook it on the bottom. It gets so crispy and nice. It's beautiful. And then stick it under the grill, or broiler for Americans. And, get the top cooked with all the toppings, melt the cheese. It's delicious and it's great and it's very easy. And it's probably very cheap as well. I made my own dough, because obviously it's easy and cheap. Flour isn't expensive, the tin of tomatoes isn't expensive, packet of cheese isn't expensive. So you should all do that. Go out and do it. Whatever you're doing right now, stop it. I don't care if you're listening to this in like 10 years' time. Whatever you're doing, stop it. Go and make a pan pizza. It'll take 5 hours for the bread to rise or whatever. It took only like 2 hours for me. Or I only looked after 2 hours. I figured that I could just make it after lunch and then just pick it up when I needed it. And that's what I did, and it turned out beautifully, so that went well. The rising is my least favourite part of bread making. I love making bread, I love baking. I'm not the best baker, but I'm not the best anything, so who cares? But whenever I make bread, or whenever I've made cinnamon buns, that's what I used to do, then I make it and I mix it up and I knead it and whatever, and then I cover it in a tea towel and I leave it for several hours, and I just think, just always in the back of my mind, I just think, what if it's not risen? And only 2 times it hasn't risen, and I mean they've been a terrible 2 times. There was one time with some cinnamon buns that didn't rise, and they were incredibly doughy the next day. They were so dense. They were fine right after they came out of the oven because they were kind of warm and soft. From the heat, but once they cooled down, then they just really hardened up. I think that happened to me twice, which wasn't great. But every other time it's been fine. If you're ever not sure, then don't feel bad about putting extra yeast in. I don't think. There's a thing about, I was speaking to some people about this. There's a thing about cooking, and I love cooking. Lots of people love cooking, but there's no reason to be the best at cooking. If you make something and it tastes nice, who cares how you made it? Oh, we got to the end. I was about to go on a big tirade about cooking, but I mean, restaurant people, they're always striving hard to make the perfect thing. But if you're at home and you're cooking, if you're making some roast beef, who cares if it's a little overcooked? If it tastes nice, then it'll be fine. I've made a load of... I've cooked a lot recently in the last couple of years. I've really got into it. And I've cooked a lot of things that weren't great, but, they didn't look perfect, or I overcooked them a little, or I undercooked them a little. I think the pizzas tonight, I made a lot of dough. There was a lot of dough, and I don't think it cooked all the way through properly. But it was still delicious. It had a great texture. The bits that did cook, I think it was just slightly undercooked, maybe right in the middle. If you can imagine that, you know what I'm talking about. But the edges, the crust was nice. It was fluffy. It was beautiful. So don't worry about it. A lot of people worry about what they make not being perfect, but it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be good. And when you look at it, then almost everything is good. That's a nice message to end on, isn't it? Thank you so much for watching. Hope you've all had a really good day. It's been a pleasure to speak to you as always. And I will see you tomorrow for Thursday.